Hi guys, welcome back to K-pop Talks. I'm your host, and today we're gonna do our weekly K-pop recap, and this is the last week of April. In fact, we have a lot of music to talk about, so I wouldn't really waste too much time. I would like to get right into the video. First song is Xikers with ROCKSTAR. Honestly, this is a good follow-up to their debut, which came out exactly a month ago. I find this a little bit to be more expressive, less like 8-8s in that sense, and more like themselves. It's a cool song, very high-paced. The chorus, I think, is very enjoyable overall. So I think they've done something a little bit different from what they did with their debut, so they're kind of showing some sort of flexibility within their own style. So it's enjoyable. I think they're doing decent as a rookie group, and I think, you know, also the fact that, you know, their company is already established, they already have a very well established group, that senior group allows them to be themselves more and not have the burden of carrying any sort of load. So for I think a rookie group, they're doing pretty good in my opinion. Next we have Jackson Wang with Cheetah. Jackson has been super active these last couple of years, in fact 3 or 4 years really. It's a good song, very Michael Jackson inspired, from the vocals, from the production, from the chorus, the aesthetics of the video, the dancing. You know, it's cool to see Jackson improving as an artist, and I think, like I said, also with his album, which came out, I don't remember if it was at the start of the year, I'm pretty sure it was either this year or last year, I don't remember at this point, that honestly did a good job. You know, he has improved. You know, if you look where he starts, where he is now, he has improved a lot, so I'm happy for him. And, you know, it's cool to see an artist improving and becoming more and more his own person. Next we have Super 17 with Super. This is definitely a change of style for 17, considering they went back more to like that style that made them really popular in 2017-2018. Very high-paced EDM production style. There's also some element of like tropical sounding music, like what do you call it? Reggaeton and stuff like that. So they've done a little bit of everything, and I think overall they did a decent job. I don't really have much complaint about this song personally. It's not my cup of tea for when it comes to 17, but you know, we have to be honest, and I think they've done a good job, so there isn't really much to complain in that sense. The vocals are there, I think the rapping is there. Not the biggest fan of the chorus, but it works, and I think for what they were trying to achieve, they achieved it. I think they did a decent job at it. Still, it's not my favorite track that 17 has dropped recently. Next we have BLITZERS with Macarena. I feel like this song is the classic example of where you have a formula, it works for the vast majority of the song, but then you have the chorus and it doesn't work. The chorus is really the biggest problem here. It completely kills the mood for me, and it makes me really not want to listen to the song as much. But the song is fun, it's groovy, it's funky, it's fun, it has personality, it's energetic, but that chorus makes no sense in the way they try to implement the Macarena aspect into the song. I think completely failed in that sense. Next we have Taeyang with Seed. I mean, if you ever heard a Taeyang song, if you ever heard a Taeyang ballad, this is what Taeyang is. It's good, the vocals are great as always, but the production is very simple, it's bland, and like I said, I think Taeyang in terms of ballads has done way better, but it's not a bad song by any means. Next we have the Taeyang song featuring Lisa with Shoong. This is completely different from Seed. It's fun, it's aggressive, not aggressive, but it's fast-paced. It has R&B elements, pop elements, K-pop elements, some hip-hop elements. Overall, the song is fine, it's enjoyable. Don't necessarily love the Lisa's part. I feel like Lisa's part is a little bit bland. It's stuff we've heard from her say a million times. So also, she's an artist that doesn't really seem to really deviate from her own flows and stuff like that. She always uses the same flow, it's the same things she says every time, it's the same lyrics, the same ideas. Like if you heard this, you've heard every Lisa verse ever, which is kind of sad because I think she's way better, she's way more talented than this, and I don't think nor the writers or the producers really give an effort to make her better in that sense. But the song is enjoyable, honestly. Definitely I prefer more than Seed, but I can see people preferring Seed more than this. Next we have Since featuring Skinny Brown with Smash. A fun, you know, pretty pacey Korean hip-hop song. I mean, Since is an artist that I really enjoy. I don't know if she's gonna drop an album this year or not, but you know, her rapping is good, her flows are good, the chorus is very enjoyable. I think it's repetitive, but it's enjoyable, it's not annoying in any sense. I think Skinny Brown brings a decent verse to this song. You know, I don't really have much, you know, many complaints. You know, a lot of times when you have these type of features, songs can be up and down in terms of quality, but I think, you know, they both got the mood right, which is this party mood, this happy mood, and I think they've done both a good job at making you feel like that when you listen to this song. Next we have EPEX with Sunshower. I enjoyed this quite a bit. You know, not the biggest EPEX fan in any way, but, you know, we have to be honest, and I think this is a good song. It's groovy, it's fun, it's definitely different from what most K-pop groups of the fourth generation do, male idols specifically. So again, it keeps following that streak that started a week ago with quality boy group song. And yeah, it's enjoyable. I love the chorus, the vocals are great, not many effects on the people's voices. You can hear them sing well, and you can actually hear their voices a lot of times. You know, they have this bad habit, K-pop companies, of making the production so obnoxious that you can't really hear the others a lot of times. I don't think that's the case with this song. I find it to be really enjoyable, one of my favorites of this week. Next we have Extraordinary Heroes with Freakin Bad. Solid. Honestly, I can't really complain much. I think they are following the streak of good music since their last single. It has personality, the vocals are good. It's not what you typically hear from a Korean rock group that it's as mainstream as theirs, so I've enjoyed it, honestly. Next we have ONEUS with Unforgettable. I mean, this is definitely something that ONEUS normally doesn't do. Kind of these like feel good, very boyish K-pop songs that were very popular with third generation groups at one point. If you look at early Astro, for example, Golden Child, these groups used to do that style very often, even NCT Dream. It's good, but it's not what I listen ONEUS for, you know. It's a different song, it's a change of pace for what they normally do, so I enjoyed it in that sense. But I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite releases at all. But it's fun. Like I said, it's a change of pace, it's different from what they normally do, so in that sense I'm able to appreciate it more than maybe if you're a classic ONEUS fan and that's what you want to hear 100% of the time. But overall it's decent, you know, it's way better than stuff that I've heard in January and February, so I can't really complain in that sense. Next we have Woods with Journey. Solid song by Woods, nothing we haven't heard before from him. In fact, it follows that same exact style, same exact production, same exact vocal style, melodies in many ways, so it's okay. I've heard his music from him 2-3 months ago anyway. So next we have Meanshock featuring Byul with Purple Stairs. This is completely different from what you normally hear from a Korean artist, in my opinion. It's heavily inspired by Japanese pop music, specifically contemporary, even modern, Ado and all like that type of like artists where they use animated visuals to explain, to, you know, portray the music. But the song sounds like a J-pop song. I'm not saying in a negative manner. You know, the hyperbeat, fast productions, the spoken word style of singing, and the storytelling through visuals, it's very, very Japanese in that sense. So I've enjoyed it because, again, it's a great change of pace. You know, Korean artists don't do this type of music. And I think she did it really good. So definitely I would recommend it. Next we have meenoi featuring KID MILLI with March. Solid song. I enjoyed it. I think meenoi kills it. KID MILLI does his thing like he normally does. A very, very enjoyable song. I mean, MILLI is a really talented artist, you know. I just wish that her music was as popular as her variety stuff, because her variety stuff is immense, massive, but for whatever reason that doesn't translate to her music at all, at least in the West. Next we have iKON with Tantara. I mean, this is a huge throwback song from iKON in that sense because it reminds you of early iKON. The flows, the production, the chorus, it reminds you of when they debuted. You know, it's kind of a nice. I've noticed this trend of groups doing this now, like kind of going back to the roots. So it's fun. You know, I was never a huge fan of that style of iKON. I'm not even gonna lie, and act like I never was. But you know, there was some good stuff in it. They definitely were different and definitely stood out in a positive manner. But it's solid. It's very enjoyable in my opinion. But you know, it's not my cup of tea in general. And next we have Grey featuring Coogie with Rule Breaker. This is probably the best song Grey has released in the last 2 years. Really, really good production. It's different. It's more experimental for him. I think he normally doesn't make this type of music as he normally does the classic, which you expect from a Korean hip-hop producer. So he kind of went out of his way. Coogie kills it with his feature, and I think also Grey does a good job rapping. So One of the best hip-hop tracks of the month, 100%. And then we're gonna close it with the best hip-hop track of the month, in my opinion. Owen featuring PH1 and Marv with In My Room. Great song, you know, in my opinion, really, really good. It's great. Owen has always been introspective, but it's nice to hear him really talk about his frustration and his fears and stuff, because let's be honest, if that deal thing with the marijuana didn't happen 2-3 years ago, he would be one of the biggest Korean hip-hop artists in the country, easily. So that kind of stunted his growth. I still think he'll make it because he's that good, so I hope it one day. But you know, the song is great. I love the vocals, the simple production that really fits with the mood of the song. They're going into a lot word or whatever it's called and having fun. Marv's vocals are immaculate. PH1 brings a good verse as well, and the views were, I think, really give you that vibe of like, yeah, you know, I really like when he says, you know, I don't know what I would have done if I wasn't writing some raps, right? It's really cool to see that music helped him in those really, really hard moments. And it's not just music, his friends are there with him. That's kind of cool, you know, it's kind of cool to see that. And I think it's cool to see him really enjoying life, you know, being stopped by fans to take pictures. And, you know, and I love the ending of this video because of him filming PH1 and taking a picture of a bunch of like teenage girls, and he's making fun of him. But at the same time, it's bittersweet because I could imagine him being there instead of PH1. Not because PH1 does not deserve it or he deserves it more, but, you know, it's like they don't even know who he is, but they know who PH1 is. But, you know, the song is very good. My favorite rap song of the month, easily. Because this type of introspection, like I said, is very rare. So the same way I respect Hyunjin for doing it as a K-pop idol, I respect Owen to do it as a rapper, because it's not common in Korea as much as people think. Very, very few rappers talk about their personal lives and struggles. And that's why you have to give credit to like Suga, who has done it in the past, specifically with Day 2 and even partially Day 1. And I think less with Day 3, but he did it as well in there like, you know, May does. But, you know, it's cool to see Owen do it as well. And many others, of course. We're not going to list like the multitude of artists that do it. And this is it for April 2023. Overall, I think it was a really good month. I mean, it started slow, but by the time it was the second week, it was better. Third week was really good. I think this last week was amazing. So definitely go check out the project. Go check out Owen. Go check out Xikers. If you haven't heard them, go check out all the boy groups, Tempest, Apex, all of them, and give them a support because they're really, really good. By next week, you're gonna get the best and the worst K-pop albums of this month, also followed by the best and the worst songs. Thank you for watching. Remember to comment, like, subscribe, share. Those things help. And see you next time.